Hello, Merry Christmas there. I thought I'd just go and have a look and see how the clubs are doing this season so far and compare them to how I thought they would do this season predictions, starting from the 20th spots and discussing what has gone on this season to work my way up. So in the 20 spots, I went for Norwich there, and not too far off the mark as they're currently in 19th spots. Norwich City with just the 12 points. 3 wins, 3 draws, and 12 defeats. Norwich being a club that's been picking up points against the top clubs there, got a draw against Leicester City there just recently. They managed to defeat Everton 2-0. Got a nice draw against Arsenal 2-2. And also they famously beat Manchester City early on in the season there. So it's been a bit of a strange season sometimes, with the bottom sides being the top sides, but then just need to win the other relegation games as well too, like against Watford and losing and stuff like that. So lots of those games, and then on a big winless streak currently as well, so they're in trouble to survive the season. So let me know your thoughts on Norwich. Do you think they'll survive the season or not? And we'll move up to the 19th spot there. Got Brighton I went for. They're currently up in 13th. Been struggling a little bit more recently after having a very bright start to the season, as I recall. Recent results, St. Leon lost against Sheffield United, 1-0. They got a draw against Crystal Palace, draw against Wolves. Did get a nice victory against Arsenal. What else? Went over Norwich, went over Everton back. If we just score up to the very start, I'm just looking back on the Brighton recent results thing on the page there. You can see all the results. First match of the season was against Watford, 3-0 victory. Then they had a draw against West Ham. Did lose against Southampton, but draws against Burnley and Newcastle as such, so reasonable. So let's see what place they'll end up this season. They're currently 13th, 20 points, 18 matches in. Only a couple of points separates them from 17th though. So it's all very close. And they need another 30 points to push themselves up to 12th. So let me know your thoughts on Brighton there. Where do you think they'll end up this season? And also, really helpful. Okay, next up, Crystal Palace. I went for an 18th. Instead, they were all the way up in 12th. They were higher up earlier, I believe, but they did lose against Newcastle there recently. A 83rd minute goal from Mikel Halloran in the last match. And it's been a little bit of a winless streak. As draw against Brighton, draw against Watford. Managed to get an impressive victory over Bournemouth though with 10 men for like a whole 17 minutes in the match. So that was an impressive result by them. And against the Liverpool, they were unlucky not to get a point as well too. 82nd minute goal from Zaha, having more shots on target. It's a really weird start to have against Liverpool. And yeah, if we scroll back up at the start of the season, it's draw against Everton, lost to Sheffield United, beat Manchester United away from home, beat astonvilla, draw against Wolves, beat Norwich, beat West Ham. So that was quite a few good results around August, September time as well too. But currently they're sitting in the top spot with 23 points. So not too bad from them. Only like, 5 points away from being in 50, as it's all still very congested. So let me know your thoughts on Vista Plus. Where do you think they will finish this season there? I personally went for 18th. Maybe they might not quite happen this season. They're 8 points clear of 18th spots, but you never know. Still got a whole half of the season to go. And 17th, this one definitely won't happen. I went for Sheffield United. It's really surprised everyone all the way up in the 5th spot there. So let's have a look back on their matches. Currently on a 3-game winning streak as well too. Defeated Brighton 1-0. Defeated aston villa 2-0. Wins against Norwich as well 2-1. Reasonably easier fixtures, I'd say. Did lose against Newcastle, but other great results, like draws against Wolves, Manchester United, draw against Tottenham, defeated Burnley, draw against West Ham, defeated Arsenal. These are all just in the previous matches as well too. Managed to get a draw against Watford, somewhat disappointing. Only a 1-0 loss against Liverpool in the 70th minute. So they're very hard side to break down against as well, because on the goals against, only conceded 16 goals this season in the 18 matches, less than one a game. And 3 of them came against Manchester United as well too, in that crazy 3-3 draw. So very good season for Sheffield United, as they're currently possibly fighting for a Europa League spot at this stage. But, if you drop any games at all, it's all very clustered with so many teams, 28, 27, 26, 25 points. They could always easily see themselves shooting down to the table, but main thing for them this season was just to stay in the top flight, being a newly promoted side. They're definitely going to do that at least this season, being 13 points clear of the relegation placings. So next up, Southampton, I went 4-16. Oh, and also let me know your thoughts about Sheffield United there this season, things I haven't covered as well too, about particular players that's been playing well, or some other styles that seems to suit them this season. Do know they keep their core squad as well too, so credit has to go to the manager and the rookie fits, because of the little signings they sign and stuff like that didn't really have an impact at all. So Southampton in 16th, they're currently in 17th, so it's pretty accurate, I'd say. Recent results, managed to get an impressive away victory over Aston Villa of 3-1. Did lose against West Ham in a relegation fight, and also against Newcastle by the odd goal. Defeated Norwich there. Defeated Watford, so a few bottom-ish table clashes. Managing to get some points out of. Managing to get a draw against Arsenal there, which is pretty impressive, despite they really should have won that game though, because it was the 96 minutes equaliser from Arsenal as well. And then obviously the really big talking point about Southampton this season was back on the 26th of October, where they lost 9-0 against Leicester City, which was a Premier League equaling record, as Manchester United also done so against Newcastle back in 1995, I believe. In that particular game this season, Jamie Vardy scored a hat-trick. Harry's also scored a hat-trick. Tillemans, Chidwell and Madison scored goals as well too. Bertrand Dickey sent off for Southampton really early on in the match, but no excuses for that demolition job there. But somehow Southampton fought back quite nicely, even though the very next 2 matches was against Manchester City, which was pretty impossible task for them. They didn't do too badly, 3-1 and 2-1 defeats establish some pride before losing to Everton, and then they managed to get their draw against Arsenal, defeated Watford, defeated Norwich. Now they're sort of back to where they should be to go on. So they're 3 points clear of 60 there. So let me know your thoughts on Southampton. Do you think they'll survive the season or not? Next up, I went for Bournemouth in 15th. They currently find themselves in 14th. And they've been a bit unfortunate recently with all the injuries that they have suffered. Otherwise, they would be a lot higher up on the table. But inevitably, you need to players to play games. And if all of your top players are out, and you have to field a second half, but then it's going to be really, really tough at the top flight level. But last match thing they did lose against Burnley just in the 89th minutes. That game nearly set a record of having no shots on target for the first time since 2010. But Jay Rodley has managed to get them in the end, so it's a bit unfortunate. They did pick up a very impressive victory over my team Chelsea, though, despite all those injuries. Gosling in the 84th minute. So that was very disappointing for me there. And that came after a series of defeats from Bournemouth, including a 3-0 loss against Liverpool, a 1-0 loss against Crystal Palace. And that one in particular was really disappointing as they had a man advantage for the game for 70 whole minutes. Lost against Tottenham 3-2, lost against Wolves 2-1, lost against Newcastle 2-1. But before that, managing to defeat Manchester United was quite a good result for them. Probably the best one this season, I believe, looking back at things there. Yep. Yeah, defeating Manchester United probably the highlight. And the goal scorer in that game was Joshua King in the 45th minute, interestingly. So that's Bournemouth for you. Where you think they'll finish this season there? Currently find themselves at 14th with 19 points. 4 losses in the last 5. Currently 4 points outside safety. And 4 points the other way could see them go up to 11th place. So a lot of fluctuation there. So yeah, next up, Burnley. I went for Burnley to finish in 14th this season. And currently they're finding themselves in 10th spot. Sean Dice's team. So yeah, Burnley, Bournemouth. Burnley was the team that did Bournemouth in the last match there, so we went over before. They also defeated Newcastle in the game before that, with Chris Woods, the New Zealand striker, getting the goal. That was quite nice, as I'm from New Zealand. Some big defeats before that: 5-0 against Tottenham, 4-1 against Manchester City, and a 2-0 defeat against Crystal Palace. Managing to defeat Watford there, win over West Ham. Best result for Burnley this season. They get a victory over Everton, but they've been really struggling this season. I got a draw against Wolves. Wolves been drawing a lot of matches though, but still not too bad. Yeah, that's Burnley. For you, just a mid-table team at the moment. Not going to do too much ask this season. We'll finish around mid-table. Should have enough quality to stay up 9 points clear of safety. And, well, only 4 points away from the 5th place Sheffield United. So you never know if they get a one form going, might climb up a bit more, but don't really see that happening. But feel free to leave your thoughts on what you think about Burnley this season. So next up, West Ham. I went for 13th spot. Instead, West Ham find themselves in 16th spot. Really struggling there. this season with Pellegrini as their manager. Did get a important victory over Southampton in their last match, and what's turning out to be a relegation battle for West Ham this season. Goal scorer in that game was Sebastian Heaver in the 37th minute. They did lose against Arsenal. Prior to that, first team to lose against Arsenal for quite a while, to be fair. Lost against Wolves. Somehow, despite West Ham being a bad run of form, it defeated my team Chelsea 1-0 though. With Criswell with winning goal of the game. Got a narrow loss against Tottenham 3-2. Lost against Newcastle 3-2 as well. What's West Ham's best result for the season? Well, they defeated Manchester United 2-0. So that would be up there. And they got off to a terrible start of the season, 5-0 defeat against Manchester City. And I guess that set them on the tone for what happened for them for the rest of the season for them. So they're only 4 points clear of safety at the moment in West Ham. So can they survive the season? Do you think they will drop down and enter the relegation zone? Let me know your thoughts about that one. So next up, I went for Watford to finish in 12th. And instead, they find themselves in last spot in 20th. And having a really awful season there. So thank goodness they got another manager in charge after 2 manager seconds already earlier in the season for Watford. They just go for their managers like it's absolutely nothing for whatever reason. So last match, picking up that 2-0 victory over Manchester United to maybe salvage some hope they might actually survive the other season. With Star on the score sheet and Dini on the score sheet as well too. 2 second half goals. They lost against Liverpool before that 2-0, but as I recall, it was a pretty good performance for them, as the second goal for Liverpool only came in the 90th minute as well. Got a draw against Crystal Palace, lost against Leicester, lost against Southampton, Burnley, and the only other victory this season was against Norwich back in November. 2-0 away from home with Delafeu and Guay on the score sheet. And as I recall, Watford's goal scorer Troy Deeney has been injured for quite a while there. He's been back on the squad just in recent times, so see if he can find his goal scoring ways again there. Upcoming games for Watford includes Sheffield United, Astonvilla and Wolves. So a bit of a tricky challenge. Probably look at that Astonvilla game on the 29th, which is in 5 days from now. At home, it's a important, much needed must-win game for them. And maybe they could possibly pick up something against Sheffield United and against the Wolves. But we'll just have to wait and see on that one. So let me know your thoughts on what will be in the season. Do you think they will survive? But it worked to cut up for them. Here though, 6 points needed to get away from the drop zone, and possibly a bit more depending on those teams, whether or not they pick up some victories themselves. So next up, I went for Newcastle to become an 11th spot there of the season, and instead they find themselves even higher up than that in 9th spot. So not too bad of a guess so far. Newcastle all of a sudden finding quite a bit of form. So recall they start off quite a bit lower down, but all of a sudden a victory over Crystal Palace, was over Southampton and Sheffield United in the last 4 games, in between losing against Burnley. But impressive draw against Manchester City 2-2, and some quaking goals there was in that game with John Joe Sharvey and Kevin De Bruyne. Some late goals, 82nd, 88th minute equaliser for Newcastle. So that was a very impressive point for them there. What else did they do there this season? They did defeat Tottenham 1-0 as well. And they also managed to defeat Manchester United 1-0. So some very big teams they managed to pick up points against. So well done to Newcastle there. They've got Manchester coming up on their next match, so see if they can get another great result against them. Then they've got Everton, Leicester coming up. So I'll let you know your thoughts on Newcastle later this season. Where do you think they will finish? Be pretty impressive if they do finish top half there. I do recall a number of people predicted them to go down, but I was not one of them. I had faith in the team, and I had them in 11th there. Okay, next up, I went for Everton to come in the 10th spot, and instead Everton struggling themselves in 15th currently. Had a pretty awful season, but recent recovery with the new manager, Duncan Ferguson, before now Ancelotti. So even better for them to climb up the table. And surely they won't be relegated, so they'll push from the table. And you never know, Europa League sort of spots not beyond the question. So draw against Arsenal, draw against Manchester United, and defeated Chelsea. And in between the League Cup 2-0 down the fight back to just lose on penalties in the quarterfinals. So those were the 4 games that Duncan Ferguson was in charge of. So very impressive considering before that they were losing against Liverpool 5-2, Leicester 2-1, Norwich even 2-0, Brighton 2. So lots of defeats there was in between there. Forward Everton. Next up for Everton, they got Burnley coming up, then they got Newcastle and Manchester City. Before the FA Cup third round tie against Liverpool. So what a game that will turn out to be for them. So let me know your thoughts on Everton. Do you think they will finish mid-table? Do you think somehow they actually will get pulled in the relegation zone? Or do you think they might even fight for a Europa League spots there? Next up, 9th spot, I went for Leicester. And I'm pretty certain that one is going to be won. As Leicester City have had an amazing season. Currently sit in the 2nd spot. Couple of blips in their last couple of matches, but somewhat to be expected. At least the last game against Manchester City anyway, 3-1. Did have the lead with Jamie Vardy, but Manchester City turned that one around. In the League Cup, they managed to defeat Everton in the quarterfinals. So got a semi-final double league against Aston Villa coming up in January. So they have an opportunity at a trophy at the end of the season in terms of the League Cup. If not, the Premier League has quite a bit of a gap between them and Liverpool still. A draw against Norwich was a disappointment for them. They would have expected to win that, and that also ended at Jamie Vardy's goal scoring streak of eight games in a row, I believe it was at that time. So it was Tim Krul's own goal who was awarded. So that could have been 9, and then scoring against Manchester City could have been 10, and then he could have gone on to defeat his own record when they won the title of 11 games in a row. But otherwise, he has been the main factor there this season for Leicester. Scoring 6 goals more than everyone else. So very impressive stuff. Like defeating Aston Villa, Watford, Everton, Brighton, Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Southampton at 9 goals to 0, Burnley, all in a row after losing to Liverpool, only in stoppage time there, 95th minute goal for Liverpool back in October, so that streak went all the way until they got that draw against Norwich in December, 15th of December. And Leicester City got a big game against Liverpool coming up in a couple of days' time there. So it'll be interesting to see if they can win the game, or have to win the game to keep any chance of winning the Premier League clear the season alive, you would have to think. So as the gap is already 10 points, Liverpool game in hand to make it 13. To win the game, win it down to 7, and then put a little bit more pressure on Liverpool, but still in Liverpool's hands, of course. Next up, I went for Manchester United to finish 8th place this season. And well, I'm bang on the nose on this one, as Manchester United currently sit in 8th spot. So yeah, Manchester United have been a bit hit and miss there this season, defeating the top sides, drawing and losing against the bottom sides, but been fun and a joy to watch if you're a neutral supporter there. So recently lost against Watford 2-0, drew against Everton twice and that's 1-1. Otherwise defeated Manchester City and Tottenham. So they've been doing really well by breaking away, counter attacking and scoring, but controlling and dominating the game and creating chances yourself, that's what they've been struggling for. And so I believe they have had less than a point match for the bottom 10 sides compared to having like 2/3 of the points against the top sides. So, and also they have done worse with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as manager than Jose Mourinho as manager there, but just the victories against the top sides have managed to save his job there. So, interesting to see when they finally get stats or whatever happens. They got Newcastle coming up there, so they probably won't win that game. They've got Burnley, and then they've got Arsenal, so I guess Arsenal top sides, so they're going to win that game. And then they've got Manchester City, League Cup semi-final, so then they might end up winning the League Cup by playing against top quality sides somehow, and then finishing the table in the Premier League. So it's very strange sort of stuff there for Manchester United, but it makes it fun and interesting season, doesn't it? So let me know your thoughts on Manchester United at the end of the season. Do you think they'll end up eventually getting the Europa League spots in first spot, only 3 points away, or they could possibly drop down even further? 12th spot is 23 points, so a couple of points lost all the way down in the bottom half of the table as well too. Okay, next up, I went for Aston Villa to finish in 7th. This one is my most shocking one. Aston Villa spent a lot of money in the summer, and I thought that I'd do like Wolves, be promoted, and fly up the table and do what like Sheffield United done this season. So I went for the one promoted team. It seems like Aston Villa spent all their money, but just hasn't really been doing anything for them. Losing against Southampton 3-1 is the most disappointing result you have to say. At home as well too, and definitely are going to be a relegation fight at the end of the season with results like that. They entered the League Cup semi-finals though, after defeated Liverpool 5-0 prior to that. Those against Liverpool's youngsters, so you can't read into that game too much. They lost against Sheffield United 2-0, lost against Leicester 4-1, Chelsea 2-1, got a draw against Manchester United. Yes, that was a reasonable result. Just quickly look up to see what I started this season. A 5-1 victory over Norwich. 2-0 win over Everton. A 3-1 loss against Tottenham, but that was a very late loss right at the start of the season. But did have the lead of John McGinn 9 minutes, and Doberly, Harry Kane came on. So they haven't been too far away from some results there this season, I believe, but they were in trouble. They were in massive trouble there this season. Next game is coming up for them. Really, really important, especially the one against Norwich at home. They just have to win that game. And then they got Watford. So back-to-back games against the two other sides in the relegation zone. It was a big for them before the year has ended. If they don't get at least a victory and a draw out of those games there, then Astonvilla will definitely be on course for being relegated there this season. Do you think they'll stay up, or do you think they will go down? Let me know your thoughts down below. And next up, we have Arsenal to finish in the 6th spot. They currently find themselves all the way down in the 11th there. In a very dreadful season for them. Just recently got a new permanent manager in charge of what was the guy's name? I'll just look it up. It was the Manchester City assistant coach guy, Arteta, Michael Arteta, in charge now for them after some dreadful results. Only victory in recent matches was against West Ham. Otherwise, they've been drawing against Everton last match, 0-0, lost against Manchester City, 3-0. Drew against Standard Liège in the Europa League, 2-2. Lost against Brighton, 2-1. Drew against Norwich, 2-2. Lost against Reinhardt, 2-1. Drew against Southampton, 2-2. Lost against Leicester, 2-0. Drew against Victoria, 1-1. Drew against Wolves, 1-1. A League Cup, drew against Liverpool, lost on penalties, 5-5. Drew against Crystal Palace, 2-2. And then before defeating Victoria, 3-2 in the Europa League, but all the way back in October before their last Premier League match, before their victory in December the 10th. So 2 months of Premier League matches without winning, or a whole month of that. Well, 2 months. 2 months total, really, of any victories of any kind. So it was like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 12 of the last 13 games been winless in there, so it's been very, very dreadful for Arsenal there. But can they sort it out with the new manager there? Temporary manager, Freddy didn't do too much, just a bit of a West Ham, so it didn't really solve any problems. Conceded a lot of goals as well too, but a clean sheet in the last one against Everton is a very, very rare sight for them. It's just been leaky defence all over the place. But the game against Bournemouth, who have been struggling in injuries as well too, would hopefully, for their sake, kickstart their season off again with a new coach before they take place against my team Chelsea and then Manchester United in the Premier League there. So that'll be 2 tough matches for them coming up. So let me know your thoughts on Arsenal there. They're currently finding themselves in the bottom half of the table. Do you think they'll manage to sort things out and get the Europa League and stuff like that? Or do you think they might drop down even further and be fighting against relegation somehow? That'd be fun to see. Anywho, better get through these other matches there. This video's been going a lot longer than before. So the first spot's going for Wolves, and instead they find themselves in 6th spots. Just been drawing the 2 many matches, 9 games this season, 3 defeats though, so not too bad for them. They lost against Tottenham right at the death. Defeated Norwich recently, drew against Brighton, defeated West Ham, drew against Sheffield United, defeated Bournemouth in recent matches. Just find the other two losses they suffered there this season, so I don't recall them offhand. They did defeat Manchester City impressively 2-0 at Etihad. It was one of their better results. They lost against my team, Chelsea 5-2, so that's looking like a quite amazing result for us now, away from home against Wolves. And what was the other game? It was a 3-2 loss against Everton, so it was a pretty impressive victory for Everton there that I didn't really cover. That's how much they struggled there. So what do you think will finish the season? Do you think they'll get the Europa League spots, or possibly even challenge Chelsea for the Champions League spots, or if they might drop down to the mid-table? Let me know your thoughts. And 4 spots I've gone for Tottenham, and they currently find themselves in 7th, but they were all the way down in 14th before new manager Jose Mourinho took charge. But since he took charge, they seem to revive things a bit more, with victories over Wolves, Burnley, Bournemouth, West Ham. As such, to lose against his former clubs of Manchester United and Chelsea, though, was a bit of a downer. Upcoming matches, they've got some easy games, you have to say, against Brighton, Norwich, and Southampton before they play Liverpool. So do you think Tottenham will get a Europa League spot this season and a Champions League spot this season, or do you think they'll miss out altogether? Let me know your thoughts down below. And now on to the final 3. I've gone for Manchester City to finish in the 3rd spot, and they currently find themselves in the 3rd spot. They suffered 4 losses the end of the season, but they did get a victory over Leicester City 3-1. They trail Leicester just by the 1 point now. They entered the League Cup semi-finals after defeating Watford, and the Champions League there as well too, quite comfortably. Did lose against Manchester United at home in the Manchester derby. You would have expected them to win the game, so that was quite a bit of an upset. $9.50 odds against. They suffered a draw against Newcastle. They lost against Liverpool, of course. They lost against Wolves, so that was really disappointing at home as well for them. And they lost against Norwich City away from home. That was one of their bigger upsets. Of course, so 4 defeats for Manchester City, have scored most goals of the season of 50. But so far, the best that they can do this season is finish 2nd, considering how much Liverpool have dominated. But I'll let you know, you think Manchester City could still win the title? You think they will finish 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or any other places, strikingly 5th or 6th, you never know. And the last 2 got Liverpool, I went for in 2nd, and it looks like Liverpool going to win the title. What can you say about Liverpool, but just unbelievably superb. 16 wins and a draw, undefeated season. Can they go the whole season undefeated? It would be such amazement and disbelief. After 30 years of not winning the title, this is surely Liverpool's time to finally win their 31st Premier League title. But you never know, football's a strange game. They recently won the Club World Cup as well too against Flamingo. Defeated Watford, defeated Everton. The only game they did slip up against the season was against Manchester United. Late fight back in the game as well too. A few stoppage time goals. They have been pumping teams there this season. It's just about having their belief and then finding some late goals to get them their points. And being so far ahead of everyone else as we enter into the halfway points, they can afford to let a few points slip away, but just doesn't seem like it's happening anytime soon. The game against Leicester City in their next match could be a big turning point. Possibly, if they lose that game, then maybe there's a slight door that opens to release Leicester and Manchester City into a title race back again. There's be a little bit more pressure on Liverpool to win the next match and so on and so on. But if Liverpool win that game, surely there's just no way they can just lose. Have to lose like 3 or 4 times to not win the title there. And last up, I went for obviously my team Chelsea because I always back for my team Chelsea. But we've still been having a quite good season and 4 spots as of a transfer ban there. People would have expected us to finish in 6th, 7th down there, according to other people's Premier League predictions. But so far we're clinging on to Champions League spots, and next month there, our transfer ban is over and we can sign players. So we'll have a reasonable chance to get 4 spots. Did have 3 losses in recent matches there, including against Bournemouth and Everton, very disappointing. Defeating Tottenham though in the last match, London derby, away from home, lost against West Ham. So yeah, one of these smaller clubs lost against 2 of them at home, 1 away from home, and then defeating a strong club, Tottenham, with Jose Mourinho in charge quite comfortably. So it's just a bit strange for the season, but Team Abraham back in the squad as well too was a big turning point. So he sort of work and gel a lot better with him in the team there. He's counter-attacking and taking play and passing forward and more opportunities and more creativity was involved in that match there. So that concludes my review of the season so far, really there. Let me know your thoughts on where you think the teams will finish the season and their races. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I'll see you in the next video. And if you got all the way through, well, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give the video a like. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe.